At the beginning of the story, a guy named Terry Richmond, a former veteran, is cruising down the road on his bicycle, completely unaware that the cops are chasing him. Lost in his own world, he's jamming out to music. Suddenly, the police car slams into him from behind, causing him to crash. They quickly cuff him and take him into custody. Terry, dazed and confused, asks, "Why are you arresting me? What did I do?" One of the officers responds, "You ran a red light and took off. We've been chasing you for 2 kilometers with sirens blaring and you didn't stop." Terry apologizes, explaining, "I was listening to music. Maybe that's why I didn't hear you." But the police aren't having it and start searching him. They find some cash in his bag and immediately suspect it's drug money. Terry tries to explain, "I sold some shares from my restaurant because my cousin's in jail, and I need this money to bail him out." The cops still don't believe him and say, "Bring us proof, then you can have your money back." Frustrated, Terry heads straight to the office of a court clerk, telling him how the police took his money. He asks for help, but the clerk refuses. That's when a woman named Summer enters the picture. Terry and Summer hit it off, and Terry tells her everything, pleading, "Can you help me get my money back? My cousin's locked up, and if I don't bail him out soon, they'll transfer him to a maximum security prison. Or worse, they might kill him in a staged encounter." Summer replies, "To get your money back, we'd have to take legal action, and that could take years." Terry, desperate, responds, "By then, it'll be too late." Summer then suggests, "You focus on raising the money. I'll see what I can do." Terry calls his boss, asking for $10,000, but his boss replies, "I don't have that much, but I'll try to help." The next day, Terry goes to the police station to file a report. The same officer who took his money is there and tries to brush him off. But another officer steps in, and Terry shows proof that he sold shares of his restaurant. He pleads, "I just need $10,000 to bail my brother out." The officer responds, "All right, I'll arrange for you to meet your brother on Monday. I might even be able to help get his case dropped." Feeling hopeful, Terry agrees. But when he shows up at the station the next day, the officer tells him, "You're too late. We transferred your cousin 3 minutes ago." Terry realizes that he's been betrayed. The police have intentionally sent his brother Mike to jail early so that he wouldn't be able to meet him. But Terry doesn't give up. He finds a narrow path through the forest and tracks down the car transporting his brother. Riding his bicycle alongside the vehicle, Terry gets a chance to talk to Mike. He tells him, "When you get there, tell them you need protection. Your life is in danger." Mike had testified against a dangerous drug cartel, which is why his life was now at risk. After this, Terry heads back and calls his boss, asking about the $10,000 he still needs. His boss, however, says, "The police raided our place. They didn't leave a single cent behind, and everyone's been taken away." Desperate, Terry goes to his friend Summer, a law student, and pleads for her help. Terry says, "They've moved my brother to Central Jail. You have to help me." But Summer, worried about her future, replies, "If I help you, I might lose my job. Please leave." Disappointed, Terry turns to leave, but Summer stops him. "Something's not right," she says. "You don't get such a harsh punishment for such a minor crime. If I find proof, I'll let you know. But that's all I can do without risking my career." Terry, feeling more and more cornered, goes back to the police officer and confronts him. "You promised me you'd help get my brother released," he says. The officer, smirking, responds, "That was just a joke." Enraged, Terry pulls out a gun, holds the officer at gunpoint, and forces him inside the station. Terry ties him up, and the officer finally admits, "Your money's inside." Terry goes in, retrieves his cash, and escapes with the help of a female police officer. Terry heads straight to Summer again, handing over the money to her boss. But soon after, the police arrive. Terry's actions at the station, holding the officer at gunpoint, have come back to haunt him. He's arrested on the spot. In the next scene, we see Terry being driven away in a police car. Confused, he asks, "Where are you taking me?" The officer replies, "Be patient. I'll tell you soon enough." They stop the car at a location and hand Terry $2,000, releasing him from the handcuffs. Shocked, Terry asks, "Why are you doing this for me?" The officer explains, "They're bringing your brother to this hospital. He's been attacked." Terry, panicking, asks, "Is my brother still alive?" The officer, unsure, responds, "I don't know, but he's been stabbed multiple times." Tears fill Terry's eyes, and the officer adds, "Do what you need to do quickly. If you stick around, we'll arrest you again." The officer then leaves. In the next scene, Terry arrives at the hospital, only to find out his brother has died from his injuries. Grief-stricken, Terry breaks down, crying next to his brother's lifeless body. Later, Summer finds Terry sitting by himself and takes him with her. While driving, Summer hands Terry some blueprints, saying, "This is evidence that shows your brother wasn't the only one. Many innocent people have been killed like this. Please help us." Terry, still devastated, responds, "I don't care about any of that anymore. This whole city is corrupt. I came here to save my brother, not to fix the system." They stop at a location, and Terry gives Summer his number. "If you ever need my help, just send me a message. You've already done so much for me," he says before heading off to buy an old truck. But as he prepares to leave, we cut to Summer, who who is in her room, clearly shaken. Someone has broken in while she was asleep, taken her blood, and left a car print at her door. A clear warning that she's being targeted. Panicking, Summer calls Terry saying, "Come quick, I need your help." When Terry arrives, he finds Summer lying on the bed but slowly regaining consciousness. She tells him, "I'm fine. Someone was here and took my blood." Summer, worried, explains that she uses drugs, and if her blood test comes back positive, she fears she'll end up in jail too. Terry, concerned for her safety, urges her, "You need to leave this city. You're in serious danger." But Summer refuses, saying, "I can't leave. I have a child to take care of. But you need to go, now. The police are after you." The next day, Summer faces more trouble. Her boss threatens to fire her after finding out about her drug use. Meanwhile, Terry is driving out of the city in his truck, but he's stopped by a police officer. The cop tells him, "You can't leave now. You stole money from the police station at gunpoint, and we have your fingerprints." An argument breaks out between them, and the officer pulls a gun on Terry. In a scuffle, Terry manages to grab the laser gun from the officer and shoots him. The cop collapses, but before Terry can escape, backup arrives and opens fire. Terry dodges the shots and flees into the forest. Eventually, Terry finds refuge in an unknown location. Summer calls him and warns, "The police were here looking for you. They asked for your address." Terry, still bleeding from the gunshot, tells her to leave immediately and meet him at a secret spot. Summer reaches Terry and finds him being treated by an old friend who's a doctor. Terry, still determined, tells Summer, "We need to find out the truth behind Mike's death. They're coming for us next, and we can't let them kill us." Together, Terry and Summer decide to investigate. They head to the judge who sentenced Mike. Terry threatens the judge, demanding answers about his brother's death. Trembling, the judge confesses, "Your brother Mike had evidence, something on video that could bring us all down. That's why he was killed." Realizing the gravity of the situation, Summer recalls an old basement where illegal activities are conducted. "Maybe Mike's video is stored there," she suggests. They sneak into the basement through a back door, cautiously avoiding guards. Eventually, they find Mike's video on a hard drive. Just as they're about to leave, Summer suddenly says, "Wait, I forgot something. I'll be right back." Terry hesitates, but Summer insists on going back. While searching, the police storm in and capture her. Terry, realizing something's wrong, follows the police. He captures one officer and forces him to reveal where they're taking Summer. The cop reveals, "We're bringing her to the chief." Terry follows the police convoy, but soon notices a trap. They've set up a roadblock, waiting for him. Instead of walking into their trap, Terry sends a decoy car with a captured officer inside. When the police open the car door, they're shocked to find one of their own tied up. Meanwhile, Terry slips past the blockade and reaches the chief's hideout. He catches the chief off guard, holding him at gunpoint. The chief tries to pull his weapon, but Terry is quicker and shoots him in the legs, immobilizing him. As the chief writhes in pain, a female police officer arrives and points her gun at Terry. Terry lowers his gun and says calmly, "The shot I fired was only to disable him. These people are corrupt. Help us expose them." After listening to Terry, the female police officer pretends to agree with him, but just as Terry is about to leave, she betrays him. She pulls a gun on him, and the police force arrives, surrounding Terry. With no way out, Terry raises his hands in surrender. One of the officers searches Terry's bag and finds the hard disk containing all the evidence Mike had gathered. Without hesitation, the officer destroys it, erasing all the proof they had against the corrupt officials. As the police open their car to check on Summer, they find her unconscious, heavily drugged. One officer suggests shooting Terry, but his partner objects, saying they need to take Summer to the hospital first or she'll die. An argument breaks out between the officers, and in the chaos, one policeman shoots his colleague in the leg. The confusion gives Terry the chance to act. He grabs the injured officer and drags him under a nearby car as gunfire erupts around them. Using the commotion to his advantage, Terry and the injured officer manage to sneak into a police car. They start driving away, but a pursuing officer grabs onto the car door, trying to stop them. Just then, Summer regains consciousness. With all her strength, she pushes the officer off, causing him to fall. However, their troubles aren't over. The car's tires are shot out, and they begin to lose speed. As they struggle to escape, the injured officer tells Terry, "There's a tape recorder in the trunk. It has all the evidence against the chief." Realizing this could be their last hope, Terry drives to the nearest hospital. Once they arrive, he rushes Summer and the injured officer inside, making sure they receive medical attention. After ensuring they're safe, Terry returns to the car and retrieves the tape recorder. He heads back into the hospital, finally able to sit down and breathe. He holds the tape recorder tightly, knowing it's the key to exposing the chief and bringing justice for his brother Mike. And with that, the story concludes, leaving Terry with a glimmer of hope despite the chaos and corruption he's faced. That's it for today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe to watch more interesting recap videos. Thanks for watching.